We've talked about Highguard, this game that launched. It failed quickly. It was a entirely independent studio, right? Not so fast, friends, as we're getting word that Tencent, the mega corporation, one of the biggest corporations in the world, a Chinese corporation which owns part of Ubisoft now, apparently also secretly funded Highguard and Wildlight Entertainment here, which is very interesting to hear. Now, because they publicly, we're independent and all this stuff. Phoenix, you were saying you were actually very happy about this because it seems like the Chinese government's going to take an L.
If it's true, get fucked, China. Yeah. Absolutely. Love it. Love to see it.
So people have to be asking themselves, why? What's the big deal with this? I don't understand. Like, who cares where they get their money from, right? Who cares? Well, you got to remember, where was Highguard first announced? At the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Right? It was the tail end. It was the one more thing. And it was the big surprise. And it quickly got panned because people were like, oh, a hero shooter? Well, that's generic. Oh, cool. That's great. And then it came out, had 98,000 people playing it. Now it has like 0 people playing on it in less than a month. And now they're shutting down the studio. But if we can connect the pieces a little bit here. This is pointed out. It says, so it's a little sus that Jeff Keighley's award show has the president of Tencent on its board of show. They showed Highguard last, and it comes out that Highguard was funded by Tencent all along.
It's all making sense now.
Does it not? If we can put on the conspiracy hats here.
Not much of a conspiracy hat.
Yeah. That's right.
Point blank.
It's pretty much there, as pointed out here, that make it make sense. Stephen Ma, Senior Vice President of Tencent, is on the advisory board of the Game Awards. That's why Jeff Keighley was pushing this so hard. Because remember, Jeff was like, this is the greatest game I've ever seen. And he was pushing it, and it came out, and it flopped. Over here, I'm telling you, these award shows are not what they seem. It's a fun little show and show and tell for the industry. A giant LinkedIn, if you will. As you can see, once again, people connecting the dots here. These are people who make big business decisions. So Smash points out, I'm starting to think Jeff Keighley is in tight with the CCP. And he said, I don't even think it's a stretch to say over here. Because when you look at this.
This is all true. Pretty obvious. Yeah, it seems.
Yeah. When you look at this, this guy worked for Tencent here. He was at remember he was at the Game Awards last year? It was
I remember.
viral. Yeah. He came up. He won some award. What was the award that he won? It was like Innovator or something. So I think it was like Small Indie Dev or something of the year. And
up and coming or what, some shit like that.
It was very misleading. People found out, and then there's Jeff Keighley showing off Highguard in the background. So here you go. Sources: Tencent secretly funding struggling shooter Highguard here. Phoenix, you said it's not a conspiracy theory.
If this is all true, it certainly points away. And it really answers that question because remember how we were saying, Craig, especially you were saying like, I think Keighley is finding little loopholes like legalese speak to say that he didn't get any money for it. Yep. And so maybe now this actually makes sense where he didn't necessarily have to make money because it basically was the people on the board making the decision. Like it actually really lines up. Like we're always like, something's missing here. Something doesn't seem to add up. Well, this absolutely helps to add that up if, again, all true.
It'll be interesting to see what the response is from people when it comes to these. Like we all understand, like we said this all along. These award shows are giant industry circle jerks, right? That's all they are. Just right. That's all these things are. Which is, I'm not going to toot our own horn, but that's exactly why our show exists, right? It's not meant for them. It's never meant for them, right? But to see it so brazen and so obvious and so out there that they clearly were trying to do their best to hide this. Jeff has to respond to this publicly because this is, you want to talk about having trust in the institution. Jeff is the institution. These people are the institution. These people are the industry. How can you trust an industry that is so that is putting together these back office deals for an award show that, once again, it's not for you. This award show is not for you at all. It's never been for you. It sounds stupid to say, but how do you have trust in this industry? When these people are doing these things. Akko, do you have any thoughts on this whole controversy?
I mean, like, you trust the Game Awards in any way, shape, or form? I'm going to be honest. The last time it happened, I really just watched the highlights because I was more interested in doing other streaming stuff. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm not surprised that all these events are owned by bigger people. I mean, like, year over year, people are tuning into these kinds of shows less and less and less. And so, like, people are just not caring anymore anyway. So,
well, it's a normie show,
mm-hmm.
right? It's a normie show. And that's kind of the idea, right? It's not as normie as like the Spike TV Video Game Awards, which gave like Madden its Game of the Year the first year it happened. But still, it's a normie show for sure. So, anyways, we'll see if Jeff has any response to all this. We'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments. So.
Doubt.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to unless Mally, do you have any thoughts on this? I mean, I think it's a little bit broader than gaming. It's just the interwebs of the
No, I fully agree with what you guys are saying though. Like, having any trust in it in general seems a little silly. Like, haven't we talked about the fact that like none of the actual awards that go out are even voted on by the fans? So it does not surprise me one bit to hear that they're completely like funded and controlled by the money, because that's what we've known all along. So yeah, unsurprising.
I agree. It's all about the money. As they always say, follow the money right there. We will follow the money as this very appropriately with a $200 super chat from Heretic Meat.
Yes.
Look at wow. Hamburger, $200 for the hamburguesa right there from Heretic Meat. Hey, YouTube said you should watch this video too. Obey the overlords.